If you want a hearty, creamy dinner without having to stand over the stove, this recipe is for you. This crock-pot beef stroganoff turns out rich, creamy, tender, and very, very flavorful. We're using cut pieces of steak, egg noodles, cream of mushroom soup, onion soup mix, cream cheese, and that's all going to make a delicious meal. So let's get this in the slow cooker, and remember to subscribe for more easy recipes that are delicious. All right, y'all. So for this recipe, crock pot, slow cooker, beef stroganoff, what we're going to have is we've got a pound of this is a sirloin I cut up into cubes. Now you can use any kind of steak or roast that you want to use. You could even use stew meat if you want to. But we got that. We got our onion soup mix. We got 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. We've got some cream cheese, and we got egg noodles, salt, and pepper. And that's all we're going to use to make this crock pot beef stroganoff. Very, very simple recipe. Doesn't take you but a minute or two to throw everything together and walk away and leave it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our sauce for our beef stroganoff. So we're going to use 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. So we're just going to put that in there. If y'all notice, I'm using something rubber. I'm not using a clinky fork or spoon this time. Still got to find me a smaller spoon than what I've got. All right, so that's got our mushroom soup in there. I'll set that can to the side because we're going to be using that again here in just a minute. All right, we're going to put our onion soup mix in there. All right, got that. And now we're going to use that can. We're going to get us a little bit of water in that can. And almost a full can should work just fine. Maybe a half inch for the top. I'm going to pour that in there. All right. And now we're going to just kind of whisk that up a little bit. Let me see if I can get some of our soup off of there so we don't lose all of it. That's already smelling good with that onion soup mix in it. So we're just going to mix that up and just kind of incorporate the soup and the water and the onion soup mix. Just kind of get everything going there. Like I say, this doesn't take just a minute or two to throw this together. All right. Now we're going to put our meat into the mixture. All right, got that. And we're going to add a little salt, about a teaspoon of salt, so not a lot, and about a half a teaspoon of pepper, unless you like it really, really peppery. All right, and now that's all we're putting in there at this moment. So I'm going to just kind of stir that up a little bit just to get the meat coated good. And one thing, since there's only 2 of us, I'm only using a pound of meat. But you know, if you've got more in your family, you're probably going to have to use a little more meat than that. Maybe use a pound and a half, 2 pounds, just depends on how many that you're feeding. But just get however much meat that you need. All right, so we got that complete. So since we're using steak meat or cut up into cube roast or stew meat or whatever meat you decide you want to use for this, it's going to take a little longer for that to cook and get tender. So we can go 8 hours on low, or we can go 4 to 5 hours on high. But that's what you're going to need to do. So, depending on how long you're going to be gone, you make the decision on how you need to do that. Now, I'm in the mood to eat this pretty soon, so I'm going to cook mine on high for about 4 to 5 hours. And once we're done, I'll show you what you're going to do with the cream cheese, and we'll have some noodles cooked to put as a bed, and then put this over top. So just stay here with us, and we'll be right back. All right, y'all. So our stroganoff's been cooking about 4 hours now, and so we're ready for the final step. So now we're going to add the cream cheese at this point. Now the cream cheese has been sitting out, and it's very much room temperature. Now you don't want to put cold cream cheese in this, because if you do, your sauce is going to break down and it's not going to be pretty at all, and you'll have to try to do something else to fix it. So be sure your cream cheese is at room temperature. All right, so let's put that in there. All right, and then the next thing we want to do is we just want to kind of cut it up into little pieces and stir it in. And it's gonna melt into that hot mixture. And we're just gonna keep stirring it until it's mixed in. All right, y'all, so there's our finished product. Beautiful beef stroganoff over egg noodles. Got some honey glazed carrots and some French cut green beans. So it's time to do the taste test. All right, y'all, so let's get us a bite of this and see how it tastes. Mm, that meat is so tender, and the sauce out of this world. Again, as I tell y'all, you make this for your family, they're going to love you for it. This is a meal fit for a king. And today, I'm the king. So I'm going to go sit down and finish off this plate. Y'all have a great one. Appreciate you being with us and watching the video.